Gettin Geeked. Gettin Geeked. Gettin Geeked with Danny Allen. Gettin Geeked. Gettin Geeked. Gettin Geeked with Danny Allen.
Alright, well, we're back. Episode 2 of Gettin Geeked with Danny Allen. It's me, your host, Danny Allen. Coming up at the top of the hour, we got Hocus Pocus 2, Chucky Season 2. Hocus Pocus 2. Yeah, that's right. I'm over here breaking my character already, like 30 seconds into this podcast. We got James Bond, possibly Reimagined. Ghostbusters 5. Let's go. Clerks 3. Yeah, dude. And then to close out the show, we're going to be talking about, you guessed it, Lightyear and Tim Allen and what he had to say about the whole ordeal. Yes. Hello, everybody. I am back. This is episode 2 of the podcast. Things went well the first time around. We had some clipping with the microphone. It's just because my computer is, enough of that, my computer. So I posted the podcast and I got a lot of responses on my TikTok about Lightyear. Like I said, I'll go into that in a little bit. Just fighting with me about what I had to say about Tim Allen voicing the cartoon. They kept saying, well, he didn't do the cartoon series. It was Patrick Warburton. And yeah, I said that. I mentioned that. Okay. I'll get into it later. Hocus Pocus 2. Sequel. They're back. The witches are back. Sanderson sisters. They look great. They look amazing for it being like 20 years. Every year back in the day, we didn't have cable. We waited for Hocus Pocus to come on, like ABC or something at the time. It had commercial breaks. It was something we all looked forward to in the early 2000s. Hocus Pocus 2 was coming on. Or no, I should say Hocus Pocus is coming on. Grab your snacks. Hocus Pocus. So yeah, the Sanderson sisters are back. The trailer, the teaser trailer looks good. They're leaning into the Charmed, Sabrina, kind of the Craft vibes. With they're introducing new witches, teenagers, which is an original angle for Hocus Pocus. Yet it's kind of redundant in 2022. I forgot what year it was. Because, like I said, we've had the Craft. I think there was a Craft remake that bombed terribly. We've had Sabrina was really good until people started. I think the Church of Satan, or one of those churches in real life, they were complaining about how Lucifer and the devil were being portrayed in the Sabrina series. So I think after season 2, they really toned down the devil worship aspect of the show, and the overall grittiness and tone of the series kind of faded away. And it's sad because Sabrina was a good show. Sabrina was a great show. The cinematography was sick. I watched Sabrina, the original, on TV back in the day, along with Hocus Pocus. I'm hyped for this new movie. I have my doubts about it. Yeah, I have my doubts. Oh yeah, this is Gettin Geeked ASMR. We're drinking Dr. Pepper, 'cause this is America. Yeah, so we got the OG cast. The Sanderson sisters are all back. My beef, there's always going to be beef. I'm going to start a segment, the daily beef. What's my beef with Hocus Pocus? My beef with Hocus Pocus, they're not bringing back Jay and Ice. Jay and Ice, the bullies of the movie. Why am I mad about that? They're just the bullies. They're not even the main characters. Listen, the reason why Hocus Pocus was lit was because it was in the 90s. It was set in the 90s. The fashion was 90s. And the bullies were 90s. These dudes were like the reason I liked watching the movie. Which is kind of bad because because I like Jay and Silent Bob. I like Cheech and Chong. I like anything with like a duo, like comedians. I'm down for. So you have this dynamic, Jay and Ice, Larry Bagby and Tobias Jelinek. These guys were holding it down for all these bullies in that era, and they're not coming back. They're not going to come back. They're going in a different direction. They announced that they aren't going to come back. They wanted to. Homeboy, I think it was Larry. He said, "Yeah, my agent put in for me for an audition, and they weren't going for it." It's like, what do you mean you had to audition to be in Hocus Pocus 2, bro? You're one of the original cast members. You shouldn't have to audition. So right there is a red flag. And I think Tobias is active on TikTok. He also said he's not going to be involved. They had both pitched like their ideas of like what would happen if they were to come back. I think they said, "Oh, we should just come back as like bullies, like parents, but like we're gonna bully the kids at the school because our kids are getting bullied." I think that's what they said. One of them said they should be the principal, and they know how to deal with bullies because he was one. Like that's like some real heart to heart stuff right there. So, yeah, and Allison's not coming back. I don't know the little girl's name. She's not coming back. Nobody's coming back except the Sanderson sisters. So there's two ways you can look at this. You can be hyped, just hyped in general because we're getting a Hocus Pocus sequel and all of them are back, or you're like me where you're like, this whole thing was Hocus Pocus was the ensemble, and that's what made that movie like a cult classic. It wasn't just the witches. The witches had a huge part of that movie, like the success, like for sure. But that was never the drawing point for me to come back to watch it. It was the other cast members because they were the ones that were going through all the stuff to set all the witchery in motion, the witchcraft in motion, playing where they shouldn't be playing. But yes, so Hocus Pocus 2 is coming out. I'm hyped for it. I'm gonna watch it. I just don't think they're gonna capture that aesthetic, the 90s vibes, because it's not the 90s anymore. They're gonna try to just make it modern. They really need to lean into the gothic witchcraft for me to really be invested in this movie. I have a feeling they're gonna have some more musical numbers, which I'm not a fan of. I like musicals, but not really. It just depends on the musical. Just it has to make sense. And if it's just corny, it's gonna be corny. So yeah, Hocus Pocus 2. What do you guys think about Hocus Pocus 2? The Sanderson sisters coming back. Let me know. Chucky's back. Season 2. I really enjoyed season 1. Season 1 was pretty lit. It was pretty violent for sci-fi. I'll give them that. Don Mancini's back at the helm. They brought back Andy. My thing with that Chucky series was they have the balls to bring back all the OGs like Kyle and Andy, Tiffany, of course. They bring back all the OGs, but they kind of delegated the main characters to the B plot. Usually they would be the A plot, but he puts the new high school kids at the center of the story, the A plot. And I'm not saying that A plot was bad. It's just I feel the pace of the show was kind of bogged down a bit towards the later half of the series. Ultimately the finale was pretty awesome with the whole auditorium sequence. Chucky underneath the seats in the auditorium. A lot of gruesome deaths, which that's why people like Child's Play and Chucky. I'm just glad they're bringing back the original everybody. Anybody that was involved is like on board to coming back. Speaking of coming back, Glen and Glenda, the triumphant return. Glen and Glenda, we haven't seen them since Seed of Chucky. People hated Seed of Chucky. See, when that movie came out on DVD, I wasn't old enough to see it in the theaters. I was like asking around, like, anybody have a copy of Seed of Chucky? Like, I'm trying to watch that because I saw Bride. I saw all those movies, and then Seed of Chucky was like the last one. It was always on Cinemax or Stars or something like that at the time. I liked it because it was leaning more into that weirdness that Don Mancini like loves, and people hate it. They're like, oh, it's too funny and it's too campy. And that's what Chucky is, dude. I mean, I get it. Child's Play 2, Child's Play 1, they're pretty straightforward movies. But that was the other writer, I think. I don't know who the other writer was. There was another writer who Don worked with. And he's the one that introduced the voodoo and all that stuff. And then Don just rolled with it, dude. And now it's basically living a life of its own. They're really... Chucky is horror done right, okay? They don't retcon anything. They don't ignore any of the past movies. Halloween. You know, they respect the history of the franchise, what came before it. Just like Scream, they respected what came before it. And that's why ultimately Chucky and Scream, they are over. They're just A tier for me, S tier for me, when compared to like Leatherface or a Michael Myers. You know, even Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th, they all managed to keep a continuity for the most part. I think, well, you got the Tommy Jarvis situation in the later Friday the 13th, different actors, they're kind of jumping around with the story. But ultimately, it's all canon. They don't really go out of the way to ignore anything. So, Chucky Season 2, Glenda's back. They got Lachlan Watson playing Glenda. They were in Sabrina. Granted, I didn't like their character in Sabrina. But I think they will play an excellent Glenda. It's just, as soon as they announced that cast member, I was like, okay, I'm down. Like, they can pull it off. I'm sure they can pull it off. Because they're a great actress. Actress. I don't know how that works. They like to be called they. So we're doing that. We're going there. I'm hyped. I'm excited to see them as Glenda, human form of this character. Don Mancini was ahead of the curve with this LGBT angle. You know, he was doing the transgender whole gay vibes back in Bride of Chucky. So he's ahead of the curve. He's been doing this representation, and it's not forced. It's not like gimmicky. A lot of these new shows or movies, they try to throw it in your face, and it's just done sloppily. And if I was a part of that community, I would be upset because, you know, don't use it like a gimmick. They're everyday people. They are normal people. They should get normal storylines. It shouldn't be a gimmick. So yeah, I'm very excited for Lachlan to be joining Chucky Season 2. I just want the whole series. I just want the whole season. Week to week doesn't work for me anymore. This is 2022. People got things to do. Weekend rolls around. I'm trying to binge a whole season. Like Stranger Things. The Boys, I'll give The Boys a pass. Because they give us like 3 episodes at first. And they're like, alright, now we're going to pull back and you're going to get one a week. But they can do that. Each episode's like an hour long. So, Chucky Season 2, what do you guys think? Are you guys excited for this new return? Are you expecting any more original cast members to come back? I think they're going to lean more on Tiffany this time around. I'm just really excited about it. I'm really excited for it. I don't know when it's coming out though. I think sometime in next year, of course. Maybe this year. I don't know, because this year's almost over. About halfway through. Maybe October. I'm hoping it comes out like Halloween time. That'd be rad. Okay. Let's get into a serious conversation. Okay. James Bond. 007. The guy. The OG. James Bond. Okay, so the estate that owns James Bond, they came out and they were saying, you guys aren't going to see a James Bond movie for at least 2 years. That's filming for 2 years. So probably won't even be seeing it in the theaters 3 years. They want to reimagine James Bond. Now, what do they mean by reimagined? Let's think about that. Are they going to cast Idris Elba, which a lot of people want? Are they going to make James Bond a girl, which they already said they're not going to do, but I had to pose that question because it's reimagined. Jane Bond. The what do you call it? The quirky renegade version of James Bond. Maybe they cast Tessa Thompson or something. Jane Bond. I don't need that. I don't need Idris Elba. He's too old, dude. If we're gonna do an old James Bond, and they're not gonna continue with Daniel Craig, you gotta bring back the OG, bro. My guy, Pierce Brosnan. GoldenEye. You know, world is not enough. Die Another Day. Am I missing one? Was it Tomorrow Never Dies or whatever? Let's go. Bring back Old Man Bond. We need an Old Man Bond movie. Like, think Logan, but with James Bond. I have a pitch. This is my pitch. Okay? I made a concept art. Old Man Bond. Legends Never Die. One more. Dude's got like a scruffy beard. He's like, I'm getting too old for this shit. Pulling a little bit of Lethal Weapon in there. You know. Let's just do it. Do it while Pierce is still around, dude. I feel like they're sitting on him, dude. Like, they're sleeping on our boy. I'm not possessive. He's not my boy. He's our boy. Pierce Brosnan. Sleeping on him. Dude is still active in Hollywood. He's an actor. An actor's actor. He's down. He's down, bro. He says, like, I'm happy with whatever happens with James Bond. Like, it was a good chapter in my life. Yeah, of course he's gonna say that. But if James Mangold came up to him and was like, listen, we're gonna do James Bond. Oh, bro, I swear to you, Pierce Brosnan will sign on the dotted line. He will do it. He will do it. And I want to see it. And I know a lot of people want to see it. I'm 27. Dude, we grew up playing GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64. You know how many people like me are like, yes, Pierce Brosnan. That's my Bond, dude. Daniel Craig is cool. Is like, yes, he's the modern Bond. But we need one more with the OG, Old Man Bond. Now the likelihood... Okay, let's get back to the reimagined part. The likelihood of that happening, I'd say there's about a 30 to 40% chance that actually happens. But, you know, these days they love sequels, reboots, and all that stuff. So, listen, it's always a possibility. You never know what happens. We got Tobey Maguire back, Andrew Garfield back in Spider-Man, Patrick Stewart back in Doctor Strange. Anything can happen. Weirder things have happened. Okay. So a reimagined Bond, this is what if we don't get Old Man Bond, this is what I actually want to happen. I want them to cast a 25-year-old Bond. 25, okay? That's very crucial. 25 years old. Why 25 years old? That's super young. I want James Bond like First Mission. Think like Kingsman. Okay? I'm not saying cast Taron Egerton or anything like that. But think of that franchise. Like, we got a young Bond, then you can keep him around for 20 years. You know, dude will be like 45. So you get a James Bond movie every 4 years. for 20 years, dude, that's like fucking 6 movies or something like that. I don't know math. You do the math. 20 years, dude's 25 years old. He stops when he's 45. That's what I'm talking about. I want a younger James Bond. A suave-ass James Bond. Driving the new Porsche around or something. I don't know. I don't even think Porsche is British or anything like that. I don't know how that works. Whatever car they have a deal with the studio, just make it happen. They're gonna cast like a Henry Cavill or something like. The problem with casting Henry Cavill is dude is too huge. He's too huge. Henry Cavill's too huge. James Bond is supposed to be a spy. Okay, he's not a bodybuilder. He's supposed to be suave. I keep doing this. He's supposed to be like agile, like a snake. Okay, he's James Bond. He gets in and out of situations like that. Okay. I don't see Henry Cavill as that. Sure, he has that stature of a James Bond, but people only say that because he was in A Man from U.N.C.L.E. or whatever what that movie was. And and he's pushing it. Warner Brothers is saying, "Oh, he might be too old to play Superman." Dude's like barely 40. So if he's too old to play Superman, he's too old to play James Bond. I don't want Henry Cavill as James Bond. Dude is. He's at his prime, like, for sure. But if you cast a 40-year-old James Bond, what are you gonna get? You might get 3 movies of that if they film it like in 10 years. Okay, so 40 to 50 years old, they'd have to film every like 2 years to get 3 movies out, and James Bond movies aren't cheap. They take a long time to make. Post-production on those are not cheap. It takes a long time. A lot of VFX, a lot of green, blue screen. Maybe they'll copy Disney and they'll use some of the volume to film to save a little bit of quiche. We'll see. That's my whole thing about James Bond. I don't know what they're going to do. Listen, when it comes down to it, I really don't care about James Bond anymore. Because that franchise ended with me when Pierce Brosnan ended his run. That's just me, though. The only thing iconic today, in my eyes, is GoldenEye and the N64. Everybody knows that. The score, everybody knows it, dude. And they know that Daniel Craig did the modern version. But a lot of people like it. A lot of people don't like that interpretation. I know Robert Burnett over on the Post-Geek Singularity. He says, "Oh, we never see Daniel Craig's James Bond, like, start and finish a mission. He's always thrown into these situations. He's never just going in and starting a mission." Like, yeah, that's true, dude. Like, and it's just how you look and interpret these characters. I want Old Man Bond, Pierce Brosnan, or a 25-year-old James Bond. Cast young. Keep him around for 20 years. Just do it. Just do it. Do it. Do it. James Bond. Yeah, dude. Okay, so moving past James Bond. Ghostbusters 5. Date was announced December 20th, 2023. That's pretty fast, man. That's like a year away. Almost a little longer than a year away. So they're going to start rolling pretty soon. We're going to get some cast announcements pretty soon. I just watched the last Ghostbusters, Afterlife. And I was sleeping on that film. I just didn't get around to seeing it in theaters. That movie was great. It was great. Spoilers, right? Spoilers. Everybody's back, dude. They open with Egon and they close with Egon. And it's just everything that a reboot should do, a sequel reboot should do, they did it. They have the new characters connected to the family. They have the original cast in the movie, but they're not overtaking the movie, passing the torch along. Sprinkled a little bit of Easter eggs in there for us, setting up the sequel. It's going to be in New York City. You know, homeboy is taking the car back to New York. He's like, I'm gonna fix you up. What have they done to you? That's what he says. I'm not much to say about Ghostbusters 5. I'm just really excited for it now. After what they did with the last one, I think they said Netflix was starting an animated series in that universe. So, somebody in the comments or anywhere, just let me know like what's going on with the. Wasn't there a Ghostbusters series in the 90s or something? Is that canon? Does anybody know if that's canon? I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't know too much about the lore of Ghostbusters minus the movies and that terrible reboot that came out a few years ago. I do know there is an original series, animated series. I don't know if it's canon. So if this new series is canon to the universe, that opens up a whole bunch of questions. Is it connected to the last animated series? Or is it all new characters? Are actors from Ghostbusters Afterlife going to voice characters that they're characters from the movies? Like, there's just a lot of ways that you can go about it. Ghostbusters 5. You guys excited for it? Are you excited? Are you excited for ghosts, spooks, specters? What does he say? Have you seen a spook, specter, or a ghost? Who are you gonna call? Well, you're gonna call the Ghostbusters. Coming up, we got Clerks 3. Oh, coming up next, we got Clerks 3. Kevin Smith back at it again with his buddy Jay Muse. The dynamic duo. The triumphant return. It's stoner seasons, gentlemen. Stoner seasons. Roll up your blunts, pack your pipes. Clerks 3, baby. Everybody's coming back. The whole crew. The whole crew is back. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm really excited for it. Clerks 2. Some probably like the best. My favorite. I wouldn't say the best. One of my favorite comedies of all time. Top 10. It's kind of hard to pick between those two. Clerks 1. You know, I think the humor hit harder in Clerks 2. Clerks 1, it was the intro to that whole world, and it was so rough and rugged and on the ground. It was more real. It felt more real. If that's... Yeah. The first Clerks was more real. Clerks 2, it's like, yo, like, we've been doing this for a while. We know it works. It was more filmatic. Is that a word? It was more film oriented. It was like a movie. And Clerks 3, I think it's going to be a bit of both of those things, because rumors, the plot is they're going to be making their version of Clerks in the movie. Meta. Is Ben Affleck back? That's what I want to know. Is the pickle fucker coming back? What's his name? Pickle fucker. Jason Lee. Is he coming back? He's got to be coming back, right? Right? He wasn't... See, that's the thing. Jason Lee may not come back because he was more involved with the Mallrats thing, Dogma, and Clerks 2, he had that one pickle fucker storyline, you know? So, I think he'll pop in. I don't know if he's going to be a big part of the movie. I'm just super excited that Kevin's going to get to make the third movie and that Randall's coming back. Jeff Anderson's coming back because he didn't want to come back for Clerks 2. He didn't want to come back for Clerks 3. He had problems with the script, the original script for Clerks 3. That's why he turned it down. Kevin wrote it after he had a heart attack. I guess it was too dour, so he went back and rewrote the movie. He got everybody back on board. He didn't double down like all these other franchises. Oh, we'll just do it without him. It'll be fine. We'll just write him out of the movie. No, man. You can't just write Jeff out of the movie. Randall. That dude's one of the main characters. He's what makes Clerks work. Okay? It's all about the ensemble. If your franchise is based off an ensemble cast, which Clerks definitely is, He got lucky with Jay and Silent Bob because they're a duo. Like I said, you get a dope, dynamic comic duo. You get a comedian bunch. If you get two dope actors together, like Jay and Silent Bob, they can have their own franchise, and they do. And there hasn't been as successful. I thought Jay and Silent Bob reboot. It got mixed reviews, but I think all of Kevin movies get mixed reviews. So I liked it. There's some parts, the editing, whatever. I'm not picky when it comes to. That's weird because some franchises I'm super picky with, but when it comes to Kevin's movies, they're supposed to be fun, and they're always well put together. The movies are always well put together. They're never sloppy or anything like that. So it's more of a storyline nitpicks I have and characters. I don't want to get into a review of the reboot movie. But yeah, dude, I'm a sucker for trilogies, so I'm glad Kevin's going to be able to make his Clerks trilogy. That's awesome. Now I want one more Jay and Silent Bob movie to complete the trilogy. Dude, that would be so sick. Because they're going to be doing this until they die. Absolutely. They were supposed to do a Mallrats series, but that fell off, which is I'm kind of happy for it, because I don't want. If you have a movie script, and it's like Obi-Wan, and you pad out the script, do you really need a Mallrats series? That's probably why they didn't make it. Give us a sequel, though. We got some of that in the reboot. The comic store in the mall's closing, commenting on the MCU, all that stuff, which worked. That was awesome. There's just something about the movies. Don't make it a series. But hey, if they do make it a series, I'm not complaining. I just want more Kevin Smith movies. So yeah, Clerks 3, we're getting a trailer next week. We got the graphic for it. He's been teasing cast photos, stuff like that. So I'm super stoked for Kevin, and I'm hyped for the movie. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about Clerks 3? Are you guys excited for it? Some more horror news, okay? There's been beef again with the beef. Got beef. What does Jared Leto's Joker say? He's like, got beef. I can't do Jared's voice, but yeah, there's beef, man. Sydney from Scream, Neve Campbell, told the whole world, told Comic-Con, told the fans, I'm super happy for the community, and I'm happy to be part of the franchise, but I'm not going to be in Scream 6. I'm not going to be in Scream 6. Oh, dude, the horror community exploded. What do you mean? How are you gonna make a Scream movie without Neve Campbell? You got Jamie Kennedy on his YouTube channel, obviously defending her, castmate, of course. You got Matthew Lillard defending her, saying, you pay her what she wants. You pay Sydney, you pay Neve Campbell what she wants. She is Scream. She's not Scream. Ghostbusters is Scream. Yeah, I'll be the bad guy here. And there's some good news later in what I'm about to talk about. I'll be the bad guy. She's not Scream anymore. She's not the face of the franchise anymore. And listen, I'll go back to what I said earlier. Ensemble. It's what made the first Scream work. The ensemble cast is what made that movie work. Neve did not carry that movie on her back. She had help from all these OG actors at this point. That movie worked because of the ensemble cast. It was not just Neve Campbell. I'm sorry, Jamie Kennedy. You're my boy. I'm sorry, our boy. I'm sorry, Matthew Lillard, Scooby-Doo, Shaggy. I'm sorry. You can defend your girl, of course. Defend your girl. Listen. She's not the star of Scream anymore. They made that very apparent in Scream 5. She was barely in Scream 5. She had nothing to do. She literally called in. Said, I have a family now. I can't do it. And then later in the movie, she shows up. Plot twist, of course. And she saves the day. Yay, she saves the day. I'm not a Neve Campbell hater. I just like, dude, like, know your audience. Know your, like, you are, Scream is your franchise, absolutely. So stand by the franchise. She was asking for like 25% of the budget or something. What? And you got Courtney Cox signed on. Why is Courtney Cox signing on? And she's not complaining about it. But Neve Campbell is complaining about it because she's not, her check isn't, her bags aren't big enough. She's not giving enough bags. Oh, I think I'm short a few bags. Are you? Because we, you know, like, we brought you in on the last one. What's the problem, Neve? Now there's rumors. Okay. I was fine with her not coming back. Okay. Now that she might be coming back, that's the new rumor. That she signed on. Spoilers. Not only did she sign on for Scream 6, she's going to be in Scream 7 as well. That means they're going to leave her character open-ended again. They made her survive the last one. I don't think that should have happened. I think you kill somebody like Dewey, you kill off all the OGs. Do a clean break. A clean pass of the torch. But no. Rumor is she signed up for Scream 6 and Scream 7. Okay. My guess, she got not more money for just Scream 5. I think she got money for both of those movies, which was it was definitely higher than the original offer she got, but it's not going to be that much more of a difference. I think she's going to get a little pay bump because Scream 7, she might be the star again. So there you have it. There you have it. She's back. It's kind of like a Jamie Lee Curtis situation for me. Just pass the torch already, dude. Not only did... Okay. I like Neve and Sidney Prescott more than Jamie Lee Curtis because they don't retcon her history. They don't retell her events. They don't ignore the movies. Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis, she had her story. It ended. It ended with Resurrection. And now they want to redo it. That's a whole nother argument. Just kill her off and move on. Let's get new Halloween movies. Kill her off. Kill Neve Campbell. Let's get a new Ghostface. I loved the last Scream movie. It was very inventive. The whole fandom is the villain arc. Yeah, that was dope. Some people didn't like that. But Reddit groups are like that. So I liked it. Yeah, Neve Campbell, Scream 6, Scream 7, rumors, she got her money, she got her bag. It's just weird, dude. Like, she's not the face of the franchise. Like, yeah, she's the final girl. But dude, like, Scream is Ghostface, man. Am I the only one that thinks that? Really? Really? I don't know. I kind of hope she's not in the movie and all these rumors are false. So, because I want to see how a Scream 6 would do without Neve Campbell. And I think it's hilarious. Courtney Cox didn't say anything. Oh, Jamie Kennedy, Matthew Lillard. Everybody's like, oh, give her bags. Because, you know, they were there with her at those cons when she was telling people she wasn't going to be in it. She was literally going back and forth with the studio via the press. She's like, yeah, you guys think you're going to make another Scream without me? The fan community's got my back. Of course the community's going to have your back. You're the original final girl for that franchise. But I fundamentally disagree that she is the face of the franchise and the franchise can't be successful without her. I don't think that's true. Just like Nancy isn't a Nightmare on Elm Street. It's Freddy Krueger, okay? Oh, we got more comedic. Yeah. That's what he is now. You have to look at the whole franchise as a whole, not just the first movie. And that's what I hate about horror fans. They're like, all these sequels for Friday the 13th, Halloween, like all these franchises, like, oh, only the first one was the best one, and then it got weird, campy, and it was all in the 80s, and it was cheesy, and it's like, no, man, like, I was born, I'm 27, so I didn't grow up with all those movies in the 80s, so I look at the franchise as a whole. You know, I had all the VHS of Nightmare on Elm Street, the box set, boom, 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 so it just is what it is. It was weird, the sets were crazy, the fantasy elements were crazy, huge, right? Oh, the first one was really grounded and scary. Yeah, it was scary and grounded. But, you know, as the franchise grows, it changes. And like Halloween, they're stuck in this thing. Oh, we only like the first one. So all these sequels that they retconned that were super different, and they added to the lore. They tried to add characters, you know, Jamie's daughter and the Curse of Thorn. They added all these elements. And they're like, oh, that's convoluted. No, man, that's just the way the franchise is. That's what happened. That's the franchise. That's what makes the franchise the franchise. And you have these people, only the first one's the best. I mean, it just depends on how you look at these things, dude. I like the franchise as a whole. Each one does something different. The new Halloween movies, kind of getting off topic here. The new Halloween movies, they look great. I can't even say that word. I fundamentally disagree with what they're doing with Laurie and retconning the history. You know, and they retconned Halloween 4, 5, and 6 when they did H2O. You know, so they're no stranger to doing retcons. But they even had in the original script for H2O, they had in the script, all those previous movies were in the script. Laurie finds out her daughter dies when she's teaching her class, and one of her students does a presentation on like Haddonfield and like what happened to her daughter, and she finds out her daughter dies and teaching her class, dude. That's what H2O should have leaned into. Her actual trauma. Now there's some like made up trauma that Laurie is scared of 40 years. Like, she's only the first film counts now. Like, oh, and even somebody comments in the movie like, didn't only happen like one night? Like, only a handful of people died. Like, and so you're getting rid of all this whole arc that Laurie had, and you're stripping everything down. It's just not as impactful. And they're giving her a new daughter that nobody gives a fuck about. You know. New granddaughter, nobody gives a fuck about. A new story where she's like a gun enthusiast. Now she's good with a strap. Like she's got bullets. Like she's not Sarah Connor. Laurie Strode was never Sarah Connor, and they're trying to make her Sarah Connor. And that's my beef with. Off topic. That's my beef with Halloween. So, Scream 6. What do you guys think? Neve Campbell not coming back. Those are the rumors. She's coming back. Technically, she's not coming back, but the new rumor is she's coming back. So, I can go either way with it. I just want Stu to come back as the killer. Ultimately, I want him to be pulling the strings. Stu never died. Let's go. Scream 6. Okay, to close out the show, I opened the show with Buzz Lightyear, and the response I got on TikTok, people saying, "Oh, Tim Allen didn't do the voice of the cartoon. He just did the Toy Story movies. He didn't do it." And then I posted a screenshot video reply of the box cover for the VHS of the Adventures of Buzz, or whatever the fuck the prequel movie was called. And I circled it. Tim Allen, starring Tim Allen. He did the voice. And I acknowledged that Patrick Warburton took over the voice for him. I acknowledged this in that same podcast, in that segment. You guys just don't listen. You don't listen. You're out here. I'm right, you're wrong. It's like, fuck, dude, like, just accept it, dude. Lightyear failed. It bombed. It didn't make the money that it needed to for multiple reasons. And yes, people were mad. No Tim Allen. Where's Tim Allen? Yes, dude. People were mad that Tim Allen wasn't the voice. And he went on today, or this is coming out Friday. So he was, yesterday, Variety ran a report. Tim Allen says, yeah, dude, I don't know what happened with Lightyear. It has nothing to do with my character. I wish it was more connected to what Buzz was. He's like, that's why I haven't said anything about it. I don't know. He's like, I don't know. He's like, I don't even know. He's like, who even made that movie? He's like, I don't even think the people that made the originals made this movie. He's like, some other people took it over. It's like, that's how you know, like, you don't give a fuck about it. He's like, of course it bombed. I'm not in it. That's basically what his vibes were. So, and I'm done. I'm done with this Lightyear talk, dude. I'm done with it. Unless they bring back the Star Command series. Because I don't think this movie's going to get a sequel. And if they do make a sequel, they need to bring back those characters from the Star Command series. That's the only way they can salvage that franchise at this point. Is that they lean into that Star Command element. Okay? Because the end of Lightyear, Buzz is Buzz Lightyear. He's got his gear on. You know, he's got the wings, the jetpack, the lasers. He's got all that stuff. So they set him up for Buzz Lightyear Star Command. They can tee him up. Lightyear was like a prequel to what that movie should have been, which was Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. Bring back all the OG characters, Booster, Warp Dark Matter, etc. You know, that's the only way this franchise will be successful. If they double down with the OG cast. It's too late to bring back Tim Allen. They already signed up Chris Evans. Yeah. I don't see them putting Tim Allen back in it now that people were complaining about it. It is what it is, guys. Chris Evans is your new Buzz. I want a Woody's Roundup movie with who the fuck should do it? Who should be in a live action Woody's Roundup series? They should make it like Red Dead Redemption. Let's get Clint Eastwood as an adult Woody. He's on his last roundup, and he's just like doing runs. Like, what do you do? The Mule? That movie, The Mule. What if Woody comes across like the cartel or something, and Woody's got to defend his territory, and then at the end he sees a spaceship come down, and it's Buzz Lightyear, Star Command, and his homeboys. Looks like you need some help. That's what he says. That's what Buzz Lightyear says. Buzz! I don't know, maybe they've seen each other. Because Clint Eastwood, because he's like a lot older now. I'm over here doing my pitch. Yeah, so Woody's been doing roundups. He knows Buzz Lightyear. But he's gotten into the shit with the cartel. So now he needs help. And he's about to die. His horse is dead. Cartel shot the horse up. Fucking Woody's crawling. You know, maybe he's got his rope, his lasso. Maybe his leg's injured and he has to tie the lasso around his leg. And he's crawling and shit. It's Clint Eastwood. And then you got Buzz Lightyear beams down. And you got fucking Chris Evans, right? Chris Evans, live action Lightyear. Fucking to infinity. He fucking saves Woody and shit. That's the movie I want to see. I don't know. That's my thoughts on the new Lightyear. And the Woody Roundup pitch. Woody's last roundup. Woody, the last roundup. Starring Clint Eastwood. Alright, yeah, we got Clint Eastwood here. Tell us, Clint, what do you think about Woody? What did you do to get into character? Well, you see, I watched all the Toy Story movies, and there's something about Woody as a character I really, Dude, they need to make that. They need to make that Woody's Last Roundup. Rated R. Coming to a theater near you. Disney Plus R rated. Woody's Roundup. Pop, 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 pop. It'd be like fucking Last Action Hero. Woody style. De-aged Arnold Schwarzenegger as Woody. Oh, Buzz! So, it's the last roundup. Get to the horses! Alright. That's gonna wrap up episode 2. Getting Geeked with Danny Allen. Powered by geekedmedia.com, my entertainment website, where I do concept art, I write articles, blah blah blah. Check it out, geekedmedia.com. Make sure you guys follow me on all social medias. Slide into my DM. Make sure you guys like and subscribe on my YouTube channel. Make sure you guys rate the Spotify. Just rate it. It helps me. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about all these topics. Because it's getting crazy, guys. There's a lot of requels out here. A lot of horror news. You know, just a lot. Just a lot. We'll see what happens by next Friday. Maybe they will announce that Clint Eastwood movie. Who knows? Anyways, you're listening, watching Getting Geeked with Danny Allen.
Getting geeked. Getting geeked. Getting geeked with Danny Allen. Getting geeked. Getting geeked. Getting geeked with Danny Allen.